Hi, my name is Nick Morgan. I'm the co-director for Eurayouth Mental Health, as well as many other things. This video is about my own mental story for our Mental Stories work. So I'm from the UK, from a small city in South Wales called Swansea, but now I live in London. Have done for 6 years, I'm 34 now. I'd say I sort of struggle with anxiety and depressive symptoms in periods, so in waves is the best word. Where to start? I guess my first, what I would say is like proper formal experience of struggling with my mental health wasn't actually until I was in my early 20s. Most mental health problems can be diagnosed or appear from around 14 years old. But I had a really good upbringing. I had really good supportive parents, friends, family. So early 20s when it really sort of embedded itself a bit more, so quite delayed. And it was once in my a good 3 years after I finished uni. So I was working for a charity in the UK. I was working as a kind of doing mental health work with young people, supporting young, active listening, if you will. And I was on my way. I was driving in Cardiff, which is where I was living at the time. I was driving on my way to work with some people at a school, and I just broke down crying out of nowhere. And at the time, again, I remember, things felt good in my life. I enjoyed my job. I had good friends again in Cardiff. Had a solid foundation. I'd been there for a good 6 years, I think, by that point, 7th, something like that. I just broke down crying. Pulled over, called work, said I'm not feeling well and had to go home. And then the next day I called work and spoke to my manager, who put me onto the employment assistance program. This was the first, what I would say was the help part, is that I got counselling, some sessions counselling, and they helped a lot. So that was kind of the first time I kind of really sunk in, and since then there's been waves of it. I've had counselling a few more times since. Currently on medication, but that's only of the last, say, year and a half. On citalopram, very low dosage. And I guess at the time, I only told a few people about it. I told some very close friends. I'm still very close friends with. I live in West Wales. It took me a good few years before I started talking to my parents and my family about it. I needed to build up what that picture looked like and what I wanted to tell them about. I guess for professionals and adults, especially in Wales, it was very much not. Mental health wasn't talked about that much. It's obviously talked about a bit more now, but there's still a lot of campaigns going on in Wales around, especially for men as well. There's that boys don't cry sort of attitude that people get brought up with, and it's not just in the UK. That's Wales. That's across the world a lot of the times. And I guess I think when I started talking about it more, it really helped. And I would, if I was to give one recommendation, I'd say talk to someone about it. Because looking back at my childhood, I could be quite angry as a child, but I played rugby, I did a lot of boxing and Muay Thai, and that kind of helped physically. But obviously I needed more than that, and I didn't really notice it until it was a bit late, hence just breaking down and crying. And I always remember so ever since that's happened, I've always remembered. Yes, that's kind of my first part of my Picture of My Mental story. I'm going to be doing more sort of videos like this on a different YouTube channel below, talking more about professional anxiety. And yeah, but my biggest advice is just to young people is to talk about it, be open about it. When someone asks you how you are, don't just do the usual thing of saying, oh yeah, I'm alright, yeah. Say, oh, not great, or rubbish, or brilliant. Use a different word than okay or fine, and you'll be surprised at how much people will want you to open up and talk more about it. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Follow the website below to see more.